So I just made a freaking 15-minute video on YouTube about failing fast and why you need to fail to learn. And guess what happened, you guys? When I had my car plugged up to my phone plugged up to my car, the audio was silent. So it didn't record any of the audio that was on the video. So all that video was pretty much wasted. But I was pretty much telling you guys that you have to learn how to fail fast, because if you don't take chances and you don't take risks, then you won't learn the lessons that you need to learn when you fail. When you fail, you're able to course correct. And I gave a great example, a great metaphor of Tony Stark from Iron Man. In the first Iron Man, he got kidnapped and he made the first Iron Man suit in the cave. Then the Mark II Iron Man suit, he improved on it by allowing it to have sustained flight, because the first Iron Man suit could only fly one time. Then after that, he improved the arc reactor so that way he can have sustained power. He created a new element. After that, Tony Stark created a nanosuit because Ant-Man shrunk down inside Iron Man's suit and cut off the conductors and conduits and, electrical stuff. I don't know. I'm not an electrician. But you know what I'm trying to say. He went into his suit and started messing it up. The point I was saying with that was that Iron Man always improves on his last creation. But the only way that Iron Man improves is because he fails. He tries something, he fails, and he course corrects. The first thing that he's seen, I seen this guy talking about it on TikTok or Instagram or YouTube. He was pretty much talking about all this and he was breaking it down. And he was saying that when Iron Man tested out the second suit, all he was supposed to do was just test the suit, do a light flying simulation. But this dude flew as high as he could, like the highest flight that anybody had with a wingsuit. And Iron Man flew all the way up, and the ice from the atmosphere made his suit have ice on it. So he pretty much learned this later on, that he needs to be able to fix that problem, because that's how he defeated his villain. The villain copied Iron Man's suit plans, fought Iron Man. They flew up in the air, and he said, how'd you figure out the defrost, or how'd you figure out the freezing? He's like, freezing? So the point was that Iron Man had to go through that mistake by failing, by jumping the gun and risking a lot of things to figure it out. And in a way, I had to do the same thing, because now I realized I can't have my phone plugged up into my car when I record these videos. I was literally failing in the moment while I was making the video with you guys. I was literally proving my own point to you guys and to myself. So that way, the next time I record a video, I know not to do that. But you have to go through these little failures. When me and my friend were doing backflips, I asked him, will he learn how to do backflips with me? And everybody in my family and people in my age group were like, you guys are too old to do backflips. We were 20 at the time. I'm 31 now, but we were 20 at the time. Everybody was like, oh no, you can't learn how to do backflips. You're gonna hurt yourself. Tell us why we learned how to do backflips in 3 months. But we always had this saying called, we have to get the ugly one out the way. And the way that we learn how to do backflips for real is I would record us doing the flips. And then, like I said, we would course correct. I would see where I had to jump higher, or when I had to tuck a little bit tighter, or things of that nature. But yeah, you guys, it's even now, you may look at me and oh man, this guy's a failure. This man's 31 years old. He's done growing. He should be already at another stage. That's what my dad would say. My dad would say, oh, Jonathan, you need to be at another level. You need to be done with learning mistakes and going through your mistakes. Father, listen. We are all humans. And you know what humans are? Imperfect. You're right, imperfect. And you know what imperfect humans are going to do? Imperfect humans are always going to make mistakes. Wow, who knew? But seriously, you guys, I think the thing about successful people and regular schmegular people, because we're all people, we all deserve respect and all that good stuff. But the thing about millionaires and billionaires and people who create businesses that are successful and help a bunch of people is that successful people fail, they learn from their failures, and they learn from it and they improve upon it. It's like Simba in The Lion King. Simba, he ran away because his uncle set him up. He mentally manipulated him, Scar. And Simba ran away from his problems, and he was meant to be king. Simba was the king. Simba was the rightful king. He was the one who was supposed to lead everybody. However, his uncle made him feel like he needed to run away. That's why when Nala, his baby mama, his girl, his wife, when she came and she told him, "What are you doing? Like, you're being lazy. You're not doing anything." He's like, "Hakuna Matata." I used to think like Hakuna Matata was the best song ever. It was so fun and so chill and so cool. But Hakuna Matata is really a death sentence. Yes, no worries is a great thing to have. However, when you're not taking action and you're so fearful, Timon said, when the world turns its back on you, you turn your back on the world. You don't want to turn your back on the world. You want to give to the world. You want to give yourself. You want to be yourself fully. At least be yourself fully, authentically. Don't hide from yourself. Don't feel like the world is out to get you. Be yourself and be willing to take these risks and be willing to try things that you think may not be received that well, and do it regardless of the fallout. When I say regardless of the fallout, I mean like a nuclear fallout. A fallout shelter is like when you're supposed to, hide and, because of the radiation, because of the bad thing. So bad things are going to happen, but you learn from it. Just like what Rafiki said to Simba. You learn from the past. You don't run from the past. It's okay. Bad things will happen. And right now, I have no worries, but I'm not running. I'm building. See, it'd have been a different thing if Simba went on vacation to get his mind right and he came back. He did eventually, but that's not what his intentions were. It took somebody else outside of him to get him onto his right path, and that was a good thing. But he talked to Mufasa and he said, remember who you are. And that's all it is. You got to remember who you are. And you are a child of God. Good things happen to you because you do the right thing. And even if it feels like bad things are happening, don't quit, because that's the only time that you truly fail. If I would have just made that video and I would have said, oh, well, my camera didn't record my audio, so I quit. What kind of example am I setting for myself in the future? That every time something doesn't go exactly my way, I'm just going to give up? No. I got to keep trying. And I try to think about it even in the future. I know kids is not for everyone. But personally, I couldn't look at myself like a true man if every time something didn't go exactly my way, I just quit. I got to keep going. I got to try. Or I got to think that at least it's possible. But really, this whole video, I'm just talking about course correcting. Failing is good. Sometimes you'll be surprised about your rock bottom and how much lessons it's going to teach you. Because most of the lessons in life you learn through pain. You learn when you fail. What they say? Some people are hard-headed. They got to learn the hard way. Some people got to touch the hot stove. Some people got to lose something to gain. And it hurts. It hurts. It'd be painful. But you only have to have the focus, the want, and just make the decision to try again. Like they say, when you fall off that horse, you get back up on it. When you fall off that bike, you get back up on it. You know, just get back up on that bike and try again. Yeah, don't hit me for my accents, guys, but failing is not the end. But yeah, I had so much more that I said in that last video, and it was so awesome, but it's okay. Now I can fail with style. I'm falling with style. I love you guys. I love making these videos, and I hope that you guys really benefit from it. I'll see you next time. Peace.